So the other time I laid a foundation saying time changes nothing, time only reviews everything. So I'm going to do a follow up on that with this. Thank you for joining me or for joining us on this one. Now, I made reference to Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest will remain at rest. An object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an external force. But not all forces are external. In definition, maybe external. But in reality, literally speaking, not all forces are external. In fact, the most impactful forces are internal. The most impactful forces are internal. So when you are afforded time, right, the force that is going to push you to action, usually more than most, is internal, is inside. These forces are internal. They are the greatest forces that can propel a man to action. They are the greatest forces that can put a man on a progressive pedestal or a regressive pedestal. A man can regress in life based on the internal forces that are at play. A man can as well progress based on the internal forces that are at play. So external forces are just a generic way of explaining that there must be a force that must come to play. Time is not one of the forces that will come to play. Of course, you need time by your side. You need time. You can run out of time, but time is not responsible for anything. Time is only there to create space for you to walk. Time is there to create space for you to make up your mind, for you to do something, for you to get something done. Let me make an example. You put food on fire. Well, in this side of our own side, beans is one of the food that takes a lot of time to get done usually. And when you pour beans on fire, you say give it time, it will be done. That's a correct statement, but that will not capture the whole reality. The thing is not that you just give it time alone. If you give it time and you run out of gas, the beans is never gonna get done. The beans is never gonna get cooked, even though you give it 30 minutes to be done. Even though you give it 1 hour to be done, it's never gonna get cooked if along the line you run out of steam, you run out of gas, you run out of something, and something just happens and it just terminates your process. Whether you give it time or not, it does not matter anymore. What matters at that point is not the time that you have. What matters at that point is the resources that you do not have. Is the process that is not continuous anymore. Is the process that has been stopped, that has been altered, abruptly altered. So time is just a fundamental factor. It's not the main factor. It's not the primary factor. It's a general factor. You don't determine anything. You don't base anything and trust time to work it out. Time does not work anything out. Time does not do anything for anybody. Time just says, here it is. Here is the space. You are breathing. You are living. You are alive. Get something done. For as long as you have time, you can do something. So time itself is not an element of change. It's one of the elements, of course, it's one of the elements, but you don't look at it like, if I give it time, it will change. No, there must be something that will serve as a catalyst for that change to happen. That will serve as a workable program for that change to take place. This is another way of looking at it, that time is a big factor. What you do with it is a bigger factor. Time, I repeat now, is a huge factor, but what you do with time is a bigger factor, because what you do with time will be the sole determinant of whether a change is going to happen or not. Will be the primary determinant of whether a change would have taken place or not. So thank you once again for joining me on this one. Time is of essence. but it's not all. It's not the overall element. It's not the overall. Um, it's not the overall setup that you need to get something done, to effect a change, and to make things happen. You need other factors, external factors, and more importantly, internal factors. Thank you very much for joining me on this one again. My name is Imole. See you next time.